everyone, welcome back to my class. So in the last class we have discussed everything about how to calculate the average maximum temperature, average minimum temperature, and what else we have learned, children? We have learned about the lowest temperature, highest temperature and the lowest minimum temperature. So today we are going to cover the subtopic. I have already written on the board, as you can see. So the name of the subtopics are different places have different temperatures and the temperatures are completely different near and far from the sea. So different places have different temperatures, and if the sea is near or far, then also the temperature is also completely different. So let's see what we are going to learn in this subtopic. You know that different places have different temperatures. Did you know why they have different temperatures? There are many reasons. Now we will take a look at some of the possible reasons. Places that are near to the sea and far away from the sea usually have different temperatures. So children, so the places which are very much near to the sea have different temperatures, and the places which are completely far away from the sea, that is also having different temperatures. For example, in India, in north side the temperature is different, and in south the temperature is completely different. Why? Because it is all happening due to various reasons, due to seasons, due to climate change and various other reasons also. Let's see why the temperature is different. We are living in one country, but in the north side the temperature is different, but in the south side there also temperature is different. Why this is happening? Let's see. So temperature differ on the top of the mountain and its foot, and you already know that temperature changes as we go north or south from the equator. So if you are going from the equator, from the north or the south, then definitely the temperature will be going to change, as we have discussed in the last classes. So on the top of a mountain and its foot means nothing but the ground. If you are standing on the mountain or the edge of the mountain, the temperature is cold. Why? Because the air will be passing more and more, and that if you are standing on the ground, mountain ground, the temperature is very much hot. Why it is happening? Because of the height. Okay, so for example, so this is the mountain and this is the foot, and one person is standing here, okay, and one person is standing here. So the temperature here will be very much cool and the temperature here is completely hot. Why? Because of the height. So because of the height, the air is very cool. So height also matters. So he is standing at a high place and the person is standing at the normal, at the ground floor. So that is why here the temperature is hot and here the temperature is completely cool down. So let's see what we have to learn further. Marine and continental climate. What is continental climate? Let's see. We have already seen the average temperature of Hyderabad. So we have already know what is the average maximum and minimum temperature of Hyderabad. Hyderabad is far away from the sea. Yes children, if you look at the India map, the Hyderabad is completely far away from the sea. So Hyderabad is not located near to the sea. If you see the map, you will able to got it very easily that Hyderabad is completely far away from the sea, lakes. Okay, Hyderabad is far away from the sea. Now let's look at the temperature of a city that lies next to the sea, Panaji in Goa. So you have known this, that you are familiar with this, that where is Goa, what is very much mostly found in Goa. What you can able to see mostly in Goa? Beaches, what is lake, waterfalls, yes or no? Why? Because it is located to the, where it is located? Located to the Arabian Sea. So the Goa is very much close to the seaside. So that is why the temperature is completely different in Goa. So we are talking here about a city called Panaji. So what is Panaji? Panaji is a capital of Goa. So we are talking about Panaji here as it is mentioned in the textbook. Okay children. So in Goa the temperature is completely different. Why? Because it is located nearer to the seaside. It nearer to the seaside means which seaside? Arabian Sea is very close to the Goa. If you see the map, then you can able to find. So it is very essential, students, that you should know where the places are located. Political map, physical map, basic, you should know that. Social studies, if you are learning social studies, the first basic thing is you should know how to locate the places and states on the map. Then only you can able to understand where the places are located and where it is, which thing is farther to the place and which thing is nearer to the place. So if you look at the map, Goa is very close to the seaside. Let's see what it is telling us about. Look at the temperature of a city. So we are going to learn about the temperature of the Panaji. Okay, average month temperature of Panaji. So in the table 2, table number 2 in your textbook, that there is a temperature readings which are mentioned of Panaji. Let's see. So there is a table given for the maximum and minimum temperatures of the Panaji of the annual year. Annual year means which cover 12 months. So month, maximum degree Celsius and minimum degree Celsius table is given. From January to December, the temperature reading is given. So in January, the maximum temperature is 32 degrees. And what about the minimum? Lowest temperature is 19. February 32 21, March 32 to 23, April maximum is 33, 25, 33, 26, and in June, July, August, September, October, everything is given. So you can see that there is no much difference in the temperatures. So it is very close, very less difference between the maximum and minimum temperatures of each month. See, like how much, like if you see that in August 28 maximum degree temperature, and what about the minimum temperature? 24 degree. So hot is, how much is the hotter temperature? Only 28 degree in August. And what about the minimum lowest cooler degree temperature is 24 degree only. So why this is very much not so much of difference? There is no so much of difference in the temperatures in Panaji. Why this is happening? Let's see. So children, there is graph is also given for the blue lines which is given, that the table which has given, it has done in the graph also. For blue lines it is maximum and for the red it is minimum. Okay, if you look at it, then you will able to get it very easily. So why does the temperature in Panaji not change much throughout the year? So as I have said that there is no much difference in the temperature maximum and minimum in Panaji. Why? Because there is throughout the year it is moderate temperature only, because it is on the seashore. As I have said, because the Goa is located very close to the seaside, that is why the temperature doesn't change very much in a high range. Okay, so temperature is very close, maximum and minimum throughout the year. It is difficult for the sun to heat up or cool down. The surface of the sea, so what it is, that we have seen sites at the places where there are oceans, lakes and seas, it is completely difficult for the sun to heat up. So it is difficult for the sun to heat up and cool down the surface of the sea. So at these places where there are oceans, seas, lakes are available, the surface won't get up hot and cold so easily and quickly. It takes most of the time. It takes so much time to heat up and it takes most of the time to cool down also. That is why the temperature where the places are close to the sea are very much moderate temperature. They doesn't have much difference in temperature throughout the year. Why? Because the heat doesn't cool or heat up fast easily at those surfaces. The air above the sea also doesn't get too hot or too cold. So at the places of the sea sides or ocean sides, the air also doesn't cool and heat up easily. Therefore, places near the sea usually have temperature that remains fairly constant throughout the year. So at these places the temperature is constant. Constant means fairly constant, not too much hot and not too much cold. There is constant temperature throughout the year. They have known as moderate temperature. The temperatures which have constant temperature means not much cold or hot. So these temperatures are called moderate temperatures. Okay, so I hope it is clear that what do you mean by moderate temperature. Moderate temperature, constant, fair constant temperature, not too much heat and not too much hot. So this is called moderate temperature. Very easy to survive for the persons in those places. Moderate temperature, very healthy and pleasant temperature. Okay children, so let's see what it is saying further. So in contrast to this, Hyderabad is very much completely far away from the sea. As I have said just now, there is no moderating influence of the sea in Hyderabad, so that we could not find any sea in the Hyderabad. In the summers, the ground temperature rise up as we are facing and experiencing summers, and you can feel it, and you can also give your feedback that how the summers are in Hyderabad, how the season is, how we are facing and what we are experiencing. So I don't think so that I need to explain you how the summers are there in Hyderabad. Yes children, yes, the ground temperature rise up and this heats up the air. In winters the ground temperature falls and the air is also cold. So as summers the ground temperature is completely heat up. Why? Because we doesn't have sea in Hyderabad. And what about in winter season? In winter season the ground level, the ground temperature completely falls and the air is also very much cold. This is called an extreme climate. So in summer the temperature will be hot and in winter the temperature will be cool. So basic we are having, it is a matter of a simple understanding that we are having two things only. In summer we will face so much of heat. Why? Because the ground surface heat up, and in winter there is a cold. Why? Because the ground floors, what else? The ground floors cooled up easily. So this is called extreme climate. So let's move to the height and temperature. So the next subtopic is height and temperature. What is the role of height regarding to the temperature? As I have said, at the peak of the summer some people go to the plains, to high places such as Ooty, Shimla to avoid the heat. So the next topic we are going to discuss about height and temperature. Definitely height also plays an important role in controlling the temperature. Okay children, so let's see what it is telling us about. So at the peak of in summers most of the rich people, so what they will do, they will not stay in the Hyderabad. What they will do, they go to the some places which are like hill stations and such as like Ooty or Shimla to avoid the heat. Even in the summer months the temperature are low on high hills. Like I said, we are living in one country, we are living in India, but the temperature is completely different in north side and in the south side. So even in summer also the temperature is completely different in hill stations, okay, on hilly areas. The highest parts of the mountains generally have the lowest temperatures. So temperatures decrease with elevations. So what it is saying, that the main point is temperature decreases. How it is decreases? With elevation. What is elevation? Elevation is nothing but height. So this is the very important point to understand this subtopic, height and temperature. The temperature decreases. Decreases means if the temperature decreases it will be very cold in the environment. Okay, so the temperature decreases with the height. So in the north side we have so much of mountains, hill stations, right? The highest parts of the mountains is where Himalaya mountains is located on the north side only. So the higher the mountain, the lowest the temperature. Getting my point? So the mountains, hill stations have cold temperature because of the height. They are having highest mountains, they are having long hills, so have the lowest temperatures. The high parts of the mountains are located on the north side only. That is why the north side, the stations, everything is very much cool, and most of the people used to prefer to go to that places only. Why? Because the temperature is very pleasant, very, what else, you will feel so much of relaxation at those places. Hill stations, what are the hill stations? Ooty, Shimla, Darjeeling, all these are very cold places and people love to stay there, and in summers they completely spend their whole summer and in those places only. Why? Because the hills are there, mountains, big huge mountains are there, and we have learned just now only that the temperature decreases with the elevation also. So that is why there the temperature is completely different when compared to south places like where we are living, south like Hyderabad. So that is why temperature plays an important role in height also. So it depends on height also for the temperature decrease and increase in nature. And due to cooler temperatures also, the plants grow on hills and mountains only. Most of the plants will grow on that places only. On which places? Cooler temperatures. Where there are cooler temperatures like hills, mountains, the plants will grow more and more. So the next topic we are going to learn about is inversion. What is inversion? Let's see in detail. So children, as I have said that height also plays an important role in controlling the temperature, that if a person is standing on the mountain, on the edge of the mountain, the temperature is very much cold, and if the person is standing on the ground floor, the temperature is very much hot. Why? Because height, due to the height the temperature is changing. If he is standing on the edge of the mountains, he is feeling very much cold because of the height. If the person is traveling, going upwards, every 1000 meters the temperature will reach to the, come down to the 6 degree. Yes children, if you are climbing for 1000 meters, so every 1000 meters the temperature decreases to 6 degrees Celsius. So let's see what is inversion. So the next subtopic is inversion. Sometimes, especially in mornings during winters. So what is happening here? Mornings during winters, lower temperatures are found near the ground. So in winters, obviously the temperature is very much cold. You can see the dew drops on the grass due to the condensation. Yes or no? Have you seen the grass in the early morning, that the grass will cover with the dew drops? Dew drops, that is nothing but the condensation. Condensation, what is condensation? Condensation in simple words means moisture. Okay, so you maybe have observed that at the early mornings, if you see the grass, there will be a dew drops. Okay, so that dew drops, how it is getting? It is getting due to the condensation process. Why? Because the season is winter, and in the early mornings, the morning is completely not so hot. It is a very cool weather. So on the grass there will be condensation called moisture. You can see dew drops on the grass due to the condensation. The cooler temperatures near the ground level are due to less amount of insolation. So what is happening? Cooler temperatures near the, it is having the cooler temperatures near the ground level are due to the less amount of insolation received due to the shorter days. As you know children, that in winters that the days are short and the nights are long. In winters, days are short and nights are long. Everybody know this. So because of this, in winters days are short and nights are long, that the less amount of insolation is received. Okay, so because of these, less amount of insolation is received, and excessive radiation due to the longer nights, this is known as inversion. So inversion is nothing but the less amount of insolation is received, and due to the shorter days and long, and excessive radiation due to the longer nights. So this process is called inversion. So in winters, what is happening? As I have said, this is going to happen. So if this is happening, insolation is receiving less. What is insolation? Earth taking up the solar energy from the sun. I hope it is clear that for this inversion explanation, I am recalling it back, that the less insolation process is going to happen by the earth. Why? Because of the days are short and nights are long in winters. That is why the earth is receiving less insolation. Okay. So, and in the night what is happening? It is happening that excessive radiation due to longer nights. So in night, that the giving up the same heat to the sun, okay, due to the longer night. So this complete process is called inversion. Okay, due to the shorter days, the less amount of insolation is received in the day, and what is happening in the night? Because the nights are very much long in the winters, the excessive radiation, the radiation which the earth has taken more throughout the year or in summers, excessive radiation is going to again reverse it back by the to the sky. Okay. So in winters this process is going to take place. Radiation is nothing but giving back. Okay. So the heat is completely sending back to the sky. So this sending back, the process of radiating is happening in the long nights in summer. So all this process which is going to happen is called inversions, and inversion is mostly happen in the season of winters. Why? Because the days are short and the nights are long. Because of this, insolation process is taking less by the earth. So whatever the excessive radiation has received by the earth is going to give it back into the sky in the long night. So all this process is called inversion. I hope it is clear to everyone. Let's move to the next topic. So let's see what is the subtopic is telling us and giving us information in detail. Temperature in places near and far from the equator. Okay, so this is our earth, and this is the equator. So, what is the temperature in places which are very much close to the equator and far to the equator? Let's see what it is telling us about. So, children, you have studied in the class 7 that in Nigeria, which is situated on the equator. So, Nigeria is a place or is a country which is very much close to the equator. We also studied about France, which is more to the north. Okay. This year we will study about Arctic tundra is even farther from the north. We know that equatorial regions like Indonesia are quite hot throughout the year. So, Indonesia is very much close to the equator. So, it is always hot, quite hot throughout the year. As we have discussed is why the places are very much hot which are close to the equator. So, Indonesia is a country which is very much close to the equator and it is completely hot throughout the year and they are not having winter at all. As we go north or south from the equator, it becomes colder and there are separate summer and winter seasons. So, if we go through the north and if we go from the equator to the south, this is south and this is north. So, if we go to the places while from the equator to the north and the south, the temperatures are completely different. Yes, there are separate summers and there are completely different winters also. So, we have discussed about that the equatorial regions which are close to the equator have different temperatures when if we are going to the north or going to the south. So, let us move to the next topic, which is temperature maps. So, this is the final topic of our second chapter, which is energy from the sun. This is the last subtopic. India is a vast sprawling country and the temperature varies in its different regions. So, India is a very vast subcontinent sprawling which is in a irregular way. So, the temperature is also completely different in different regions, different places, as we have know this. If you want to find out which places are hotter and which places are cooler, we can use a temperature maps. Okay, children. So, if you want to know which places are hotter and which places are cooler, you can go through with the temperature maps. So, if you want to find out the temperature maps, where you can find it in the Atlas. To find out the map of the India that shows the average temperatures of each and every place or region. Okay, children. So, India is divided into different sections, each marked with different colors. So, if you look the Atlas, that India is completely divided into different places, region, union, territories, and each one is marked with different colors for your better understanding. By referring to the key, you can find out the average temperature of each sections. If you go through the Atlas, you will find each and everything in a simple manner. It is available. So, why is the north cooler in winter? It shows the time of sunrise and sunsets in different cities in India on 10th January. Answer the questions below. So, there is a box on the last subtopic. Why is north cooler in winter? So, place sunrise, when the sunrise is going to happen, when the sunset is going to happen, it is already mentioned. You can go through what are the temperatures, why it is cooler and why it is hotter. So, north is obviously cooler in India. Why? Because it is having mountains, hill stations, waterfalls, seaside, and there will be having lot of snowfall. That is why north side is much cooler than the south part of India. So, that is why north side has very much cold places like what it is having because all this is very much cold because of the Himalaya mountains. They are having snowfalls, hill station is there, Ooty, Shimla, and what else we are having, waterfalls is having, seasides is there. That is why north is so much cold when compared to the south side of India. So, students, in this way we have completed our unit 2 energy from the sun. So, in the next class we are going to start the new chapter with interesting facts and interesting knowledge. Till then, revise the syllabus, take care of your health, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.